Last video I looked at solving quadratic equations, and I derived this formula here, which is referred to as the quadratic formula, which is something that is on the GCSE specification, but I derived it for you in the last video. You don't need to know its derivation. But there's a certain part of this quadratic formula which is called the discriminant, which in itself is actually very useful, and it is the bit under the square root sign. So this is the discriminant, and it is equal to b squared minus 4ac. And it is useful because just this number alone can tell us something about the roots of this quadratic equation. Now, because in the quadratic formula we are square rooting this expression, if b squared minus 4ac is strictly positive, i.e. it's a number that is greater than 0, then that means there are two solutions to the quadratic equation. And that's because when we square root this positive quantity, there will be a positive root and a negative root, which is what the plus minus here is for, and it means there's two values of x which satisfy this quadratic equation. If, however, b squared minus 4ac is equal to 0, well, there's only one square root of 0. It's the only number that has one square root, and it means we only get one solution to the quadratic equation, because this square root is 0, which means the only root to the quadratic is minus b on 2a. There's no other root. And finally, if this discriminant is negative, that's b squared minus 4ac is less than 0, well, you can't square root a negative number, so there are no solutions. And this is actually really important on the course. We use it an awful lot on the course, so make sure you really do remember this theory. B squared minus 4ac is positive, two solutions. It's equal to 0 is one solution. It's negative, there's no solutions. And we often denote the discriminant as a capital delta. Okay, so it's just a triangle. So I will just be referring to that. So make sure that we understand it. Next video, we're looking at some quadratic graphs, so we can see the implication of this theory when we are plotting a graph y equals ax squared plus bx plus c.